All right, we're doing something pretty different today. If you don't know, my favorite movie of all time is Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, the Henry Selick directed stop-motion animated classic holiday movie that's just become like the face of Halloween and Hot Topic ever since. It's my favorite movie of all time. I've been wanting to do something about it on my YouTube channels for a while, and little did I know that Nightmare Before Christmas trading cards exist. Actually, there's a few different kinds of Nightmare Before Christmas cards. This is from 2005. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas trading card game from, where is it? Real Games and NECA. You can tell this is old because it still says copyright Touchstone Pictures. Back in the day when this movie came out, Disney, the people who were, actually publishing it, they thought it was a little bit too dark for their core audience at the time in 1993, so they released it under their subsidiary Touchstone Pictures, but ever since it became this massive cult hit that makes a lot of money, suddenly Disney likes putting their name on it again. But no, while there are some other trading card sets that are more collectible based, this is an actual trading card game from 2005. That shook the desk a little bit, and I have a full booster box of 36 packs here to open today, so let's just rip into this thing. I had no clue that these existed. I had never even thought about it. But man, there's trading card sets for everything. I've seen trading cards for the Backstreet Boys and for Pocahontas and stuff like that. There's trading cards for everything. And quite honestly, as the Pokemon scene continues to just get more and more toxic and difficult to keep up with, I am kind of leaning more towards opening these weird, obscure, old school trading card sets rather than trying to keep up with whatever Pokemon's got going on. So yes, it's a little bit messy. Let's kind of even this out a little bit. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas trading card booster box. We're gonna scooch this off camera. And before we actually get into opening the packs, I want to show you some of the cards that I pulled because I have opened one of these boxes before. I bought two. I got impatient, and these were my holographic pulls. Yes, you can actually get holos in this set. So you have Scary Bed, the bed with the monster underneath it from the beginning of the movie. You have Shadow on the Moon. Oogie Boogie's the villain of the movie, if you don't know. I'd be surprised if you're watching this video and you don't know the movie. But yeah, the villain of the movie casts his shadow onto the moon. We have Wheel of Torture. I got a lot of Oogie Boogie holos in that box. Speaking of, here's Oogie Boogie again. And then we got one Jack Skellington holo, the Pumpkin King. This one's really cool. I love that. Not a whole lot of holos though. That's what, like 5 out of 36 packs? That's not a huge number. So I'm not 100% sure what we should really be expecting when we start cracking into these packs, but I'm assuming at least about 5 holos. Oh, we're starting out with the mayor. I've always loved the mayor. One of my favorite character designs in any movie at all. Just like, he's like a toy. Like when he's happy, he's got this face, but when he's sad, his head turns around 180 and he's sad when his face is like white and blue. And I just love the design of him just being like a weird triangle. What does this say? The mayor, elected official. While the mayor is in town square, you may spend 1 movement to move any number of your adjacent characters there. Ooh. So I don't have any clue what the actual game is like. So I'm just reading the instructions here and just hoping that I can extrapolate something. Function, add 4. Cool. Apparently there are like settings, the town square and stuff. Sally! I'm just here for the art, really. We got Sally, the female lead of the movie, and Jack's like eventual like girlfriend, these days known as the Pumpkin Queen in some new like spin-off material. Ooh, this is the fun part, is getting to learn, I guess, somewhat official names for some of the random background characters. We got Decomposing Guy, also known as Pudding Head, who's a character in the movie who's just kind of always melting. Love that. Moody Mayor. This is the other face the mayor gets when he's upset. We got Jingle Bells when Jack was teaching the zombie band how to play some Christmas music. Ooh, we got Double Dead. Ooh, name a card title. All players must reveal all copies of that card title in their discarded piles and then remove the revealed cards from the game. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that does for you. But that's like an Oogie Boogie card. We got another Oogie Boogie card. This is coming from like right at the start of his musical number. There's a lot of Oogie Boogie cards in this set. This must be like a mechanic where like a set of like surprise cards, like trap cards or something, are all Oogie Boogie or villain themed because they are antagonistic or something. We got a shock card. We got I Told You, a surprise card. So I guess that's like a trap card. Then we got Something's Up with Jack. Ooh, this was when he was attempting to reverse engineer engineer the point of Christmas through the scientific method. Fear the Reaper. Ooh. Just look at how they're stretching for things to make cards out of by just taking screenshots from the movie. This card, can you see the focal point of this card? It's that guy right there. That Grim Reaper puppet that is barely in frame and doesn't get a single solitary moment of screen time beyond that. They got their own card. That's kind of cute. But yeah, that's kind of the basic pack experience for these for this set. And then you just kind of hope and pray throughout the rest of it that you might see one or two hollows. There's Dr. Finkelstein, the person who created Sally. Recently, I did a video on the main channel where I played the Nightmare Before Christmas PlayStation 2 game, Oogie's Revenge, and in that game, for some reason, everyone calls Dr. Finkelstein Dr. Finkelstein. Speaking of, I said his name too many times. Oh, here we go. We got our first hollow. Dr. Finkelstein, Brainy Inventor. This is a new one. I've never seen this one. So you can see we're going for kind of like a little bit of a really old school, basic, like mirror foil, Magic the Gathering ass looking hollow here, where it kind of makes the card a little bit duller color-wise, but there is like a nice little iridescent sheen to it. Let's see here. Dr. Finkelstein, Brainy Inventor. Hex. Once during your turn, if Finkelstein is at Finkelstein Hall, you may discard one of your creations in play to draw a number of cards equal to the scare number. Is that what this is? Is that the scare number? What the fuck is Finkelstein Hall? All right, well, that's our first pull. Let's see what else is in this pack. Ooh, the Harlequin Demon Thingamabob. This was always one of the, to me, probably the most iconic background character design in Nightmare Before Christmas. I love it. And we got Sandy Claus. We got this little thing. You can see Spiral Hill in the background. This is from Kidnap the Sandy Claus number. And we got Eureka! Cute. This year, Christmas will be ours! But no, this is by far my favorite movie of all time. I'm a huge stop motion fan. Open the damn pack. Open the damn pack. There we go. But yes, Nightmare Before Christmas, my favorite movie of all time. I discovered it in about, honestly, not too far off from when this set was released in 2005, because I got into Nightmare Before Christmas right after getting really into the Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and the Tim Burton movie Corpse Bride, which was also a stop motion film. Whoa! We got another hollow, and they're all upside down for some reason. When I opened my first box, it took a long time to get hollows, so the fact that we're getting them right up at the front here is really cool. We got Sally, Skilled Alchemist. We got a Sally hollow. That's a first. Hex. Once during your turn, if Sally is at her room, you may discard one card from your hand to draw one card. Oh, it's so close to Pot of Greed. Great. We got another hollow. Fantastic. We got one of the vampires. We got the monster under the bed. Oh, we got the tree circle. All the holiday trees from the beginning of the film. And the winged demon, the little bat boy. But right, I was born in 1995, like December 1995, so Nightmare Before Christmas was a little bit before my time. And, but when I was in elementary school and I got really into Corpse Bride and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Tim Burton version, my dad saw that and was like, you might like Nightmare Before Christmas, so he bought the DVD and showed it to me, and yeah, he was right. Instant obsession. Just instantaneous obsession, more than either of those other films. Huge moment in my life getting into the Nightmare Before Christmas. This is Halloween, the iconic opening number, and the only time in the entire film we see Jack as the Pumpkin King in terms of being this like scarecrow pumpkin man. So I became obsessed with the movie. I watched the DVD all the time. I started playing those games like Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge, and the Pumpkin King for the Game Boy Advance. And again, for some reason in that PS2 game, Finkelstein is only ever referred to as Finkelstein, which I don't know how they got wrong because it's literally a Frankenstein reference. But speaking of the game, we got Mr. Hyde, the covert fellow, apparently. But no, Mr. Hyde is really important in Oogie's Revenge because he is your save state. He follows you around to every single location in the game like a creep because he is the place you go to save your game. Ooh, that's an iconic shot right there. Jumbo treat bag when Lock, Shock, and Barrel, Oogie Boogie's little trick-or-treater minions, go and kidnap the Santa Claus. We got the Mellow Trio. This is the Halloween Town band, and fun fact, I guess, the little disembodied head sitting inside of the double bass, I believe is supposed to be modeled after Danny Elfman, the composer of the film, and the voice of Jack when he sings, not when he speaks. We got another little Mr. Hyde thing, and it's time to party with the little Red Devil guy. God, I love all of this. I love it so much. I love it so much. But yeah, if you're a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, you probably already know this, but some of you may have noted that at the beginning of the video, I said the movie was directed by Henry Selick. Yes, Nightmare Before Christmas, despite having Tim Burton's name in the title, was not directed by Tim Burton. He produced the film, and he came up with the original concept and characters, but he did not actually direct the film because he was busy working on like Batman Returns or something at the time. Might have been Batman 89, I'm not sure. But he did not direct it. Oh, we're upside down again for some reason. Oh, the vampire was upside down. How appropriate. And so a lot of people don't actually know that the director of Nightmare Before Christmas is not just not Tim Burton, but it's actually Henry Selick, the guy who did Coraline. People also don't really know that Coraline's not a Tim Burton film because they just see creepy stop motion and they think, oh yeah, is that one guy. So the movie was released in 1993, and it wasn't a huge hit. Like, it kind of came and went at the time. It wasn't like the big, like, shocking success that they were hoping for, considering the high Tim Burton's name was having at the time after Batman and Beetlejuice and a lot of, and Edward Scissorhands and a lot of other, like, really big movies. So it kind of came and went, and it had, like, a bit of a cult following, and then in the early 2000s, around the time I got into it, it just happened to get featured in a little game called Kingdom Hearts, which was a huge hit. And that's kind of my running theory, is that the thing that put Nightmare Before Christmas over the top in the 2000s to become this massive cult hit was probably its inclusion in one of the most popular video games of the era. Both Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 featured Nightmare Before Christmas levels, and I don't think it's a coincidence that around the exact same time, Disney was like, oh, why don't we start trying to make Nightmare Before Christmas games ourselves, and putting out things like Oogie's Revenge and The Pumpkin King. And then, suddenly, everyone was really starting to get into the Nightmare Before Christmas. I remember around that time, they actually put the movie back in theaters for a little bit, and my whole family, knowing how big into this movie I was, made an entire day out of going to see it in theaters, in 3D even, and we saw it twice in one afternoon because it was just so important to me. And man, it's crazy to see how this went from kind of like a cult thing on the verge of becoming popular when I was a kid to now it's just everywhere. All the time. Like, if I wanted a Nightmare Before Christmas toy or like shirt or something like that back when I was a kid, we had to like go out of town and scour specialty shops for like ages to find anything. And nowadays, you can walk to any friggin' big box store, Walmart, Target, you can go to Five Below and find Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. It is everywhere. I cannot believe it anytime I see it, even though it's been the case for a long time now. But the most interesting thing to me is whenever it gets around Halloween time, ooh, that's a fun one. Another Dr. Finkelstein card, mad genius when he was creating the skeleton reindeer for Jack Santa's sleigh. I got to get that right. I want this to be real. They've made this real, right? This like haunted skeleton teddy bear thing. They've had to have made that real. I want it. I want one. I want one. Organ donor. That's a stupid name. This is when Dr. Finkelstein got fed up with Sally running off, so he decided to make a new woman, I guess, and basically just made it a clone of him, even giving them half of his brain. It's a weird movie. But yeah, every year when it gets around Halloween, I can go to these big box stores that have like Halloween sections, and not only do I notice a lot more Nightmare Before Christmas themed stuff than there would have been in like my childhood, but also I notice a lot of like the generic Halloween decorations that aren't licensed Nightmare Before Christmas products are just kind of aping the Nightmare Before Christmas style and aesthetic. Ooh, speaking of, oh, we got a duplicate. This is our first duplicate card. This is the first time I'm pulling this on camera, but I have this one. But this is Jack Skellington, Demon of Light, the Pumpkin King. When Jack, Demon of Light, is played, the players with the most characters in play draw until they have 7 cards in their hands. I don't know if that's good for you or not. But yes, we got another holo. Fantastic. But yeah, like, it's like the entire aesthetic of Halloween from like a capitalistic, like, buy decorations at Walmart perspective has been shifting to be less about like universal monsters like the werewolf and Frankenstein and stuff like that, and be more like a Tim Burton thing. Everything just looks like Beetlejuice and Nightmare Before Christmas now when it comes to Halloween decorations, and I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that, because it's great to see more stuff in this aesthetic because this is my vibe, but also it's like, you know, you kind of miss the like very generic Halloween aesthetic that I grew up on with like bright orange and green slime and stuff like that. You don't get a whole lot of that with this like very kind of like black, white, and purple aesthetic that you get with a lot of Tim Burton stuff. But man, it's just so crazy to see how this went from the movie and like thing that I couldn't find any other fans of when I was in elementary school to now being like completely inescapable. I'm honestly surprised I had to go all the way back to 2005 to find Nightmare Before Christmas trading cards, because you just kind of think that this would be something that would exist these days because of how much more merchandise exists for Nightmare at this point. What we got here? We got Oogie's Lair. I like some of these horizontal cards. Are these like lands? Are these like lands from Magic the Gathering or something like that? Because it's like the horizontal cards is like, this is the town square, and this is Oogie's Lair, and this is the bed, or something like that. We got another Dr. Finkelstein. Hitch a Ride surprise card. What is this? Oh, this is the end of the movie when Jack gets rescued from Oogie's lair and they all return back to the Halloween town square. Throw me a bone. This is a little Igor card. Dr. Finkelstein's little Igor assistant who eats dog food, which is like a canon thing. We got another little shock card. Something's up with Jack. Now we're Damn. I don't know what happened there. Now we're starting to see our duplicates. Oh, we do have another shot of the Reaper. Huh, it's still literally a background shot. Like, they had to zoom in pretty hard to get this, but I love that this is maybe the only scene that this puppet is in throughout the entire film, and they somehow managed to get 2 cards out of it. Wow. That is one of the fun things about Nightmare Before Christmas and all stop-motion films to me, though, is that everything you're seeing on screen, for the most part, is like a real physical thing. Like, this is animated, yes, but it's not a drawing, it's not a CGI rendering. This is an actual, like, physical puppet that someone built on actual physical sets that people built. And some of those props and puppets still exist. Like, there are collectors who have them. They're in Disney vaults. They're in museums. Like, man, it would be a dream come true to own literally any singular piece of the puppets from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I would adore that. Ooh, Mystic Cauldron. This is where the entire town of Halloween Town watched their leader get blown up by the military. You know, actually, maybe I should explain. So, The Nightmare Before Christmas, if you don't know, is a movie about the king of Halloween, the leader of the entire concept of Halloween, getting kind of fed up with and burnt out of doing the same thing every year. So, he goes wandering around trying to find, like, new shit. And he discovers an entire other world of just Christmas, and he had never seen it before, he had never heard of it before, and it being just such a polar opposite to Halloween just lit him up with inspiration, so he attempts to kidnap Santa Claus and steal the entire holiday for himself. I've described it before as How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but if the Grinch had only the best of intentions. The town of Halloween starts trying to make Christmas their own way, but of course, they are monsters who make Halloween happen, so everything that they create is terrifying and full of jump scares and danger and stuff like that. So when they actually do start delivering those presents to people in the real world, it causes a massive panic that ends up with getting the military involved to shoot down Jack as he is flying over like suburban Burbank in his ramshackle sleigh. It's kind of insane when you think about it from that perspective. We haven't really taken a close look at the the pack art, have we? It looks a little bootleg, not gonna lie. We got Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas logo on the top. We got this cool pumpkin outline frame, which is really nice. Then we've got this, honestly, kinda crunchy looking screenshot in the middle with just this little circle that just says trading card game. It kind of looks unfinished. It kind of looks like a graphic design is my passion sort of thing. But you know, it was 2005. You know, we can't expect greatness from a budget card game from 2005. We're just here for some fun. I do like the framing of these cards. It still feels very like Nightmare Before Christmas, while also kind of giving the vibe of like Magic the Gathering cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something like that. It's more than just a screenshot, which I like. And it fits the aesthetic perfectly well. Ooh, how often does that happen? We got the little witch and the big witch right next to each other, and it's literally the same, it's the same screenshot, I think. That's cute. Then what else we got? We have the back alley, which is also a witch scene, and Jack Skellington, Master of Fright, classic. One of the only times he actually does a scary thing in the movie. Look at all those teeth. That's the other thing. Like, this is a stop motion film. Everything you see was not only a physical thing sculpted by a real person, but every single screenshot on these cards was something that someone had to meticulously pose, frame, and then get a photo of. It is so impressive. When I was little, I wanted to be a stop motion animator. I wanted to be an animator in general, or a cartoonist or something like that. But after I discovered Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride, like, all I wanted to do was make a stop motion film like this. And honestly, there's the military shooting Jack down. Honestly, it is still something I do kind of aspire to, but Lord knows I have not animated something like that a day in my life. Here is a scene from when all of the terrible, scary presents they made go awry in the real world. Yeah, I don't know. When I was a kid, I used to play around with clay a lot and sculpt things and try and use that to make shitty little stop motion films on like an old DV tape camera. But all these years later, like decades later, I have kind of been wanting to get back into drawing and sculpting a little bit, just to kind of like satisfy that like childhood itch. So I've bought some clay and I bought some armature wire, and just, one day if I get the time, I'm gonna just start seeing what I can do. Same with drawing. I used to draw all the time. It used to be like the main thing I did when I was a little kid, and then I got back into it when I was in high school to pass the time, and man, I drew some real, like, Tim Burton-esque, like, creatures back in the day. I've posted some of them on my Instagram, and I'm still really proud of those drawings. I wanna get back into it. I haven't done something like that since, like, 2014. I really want to get back into that if I can. Oh, we got Behemoth. I don't know if he's, like, based on any particular monster. He's just a dude with an axe in his brain. Yeah, I really want to get back. I really want to get back into that. We got the Mummy Boy. Is his name Ragamuffin, or are they describing him as a ragamuffin? I really hope his name is Ragamuffin, because that would be adorable. We're seeing a lot of duplicates at this point. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we got a holo, so I'm hoping we can get back into this one at some point. We got Jack's bedroom. Function. Draw until you have a number of cards in your hand equal to your starting hand as indicated on your starting locale. Starting locale? It's just like, man, I wonder if you can even, like, find the rule set for this game anymore. Because that's not the kind of thing you would ever find in, like, a booster box. And this was still kind of in the early days of things having, like, websites and shit. But there are, one of the things I don't have for this video that I did see online when I was looking this stuff up, is there are, like, some little structure decks or starter decks or something like that. And those almost certainly have to come with some kind of rule book or instruction booklet on how to play this game. But without that, kind of flying blind. So, ooh, we got Corpse Dad. Look at him. Oh, his name's Ned? He has a name? Like, the Corpse Kid is always just called Corpse Kid, even in the games. So, just like, his dad's name is Ned, and then the kid's name is Corpse Kid. We got the Wolf Man, another classic design. Castle Finkelstein, that's cute. This is where you see a lot of that, like, German expressionism, the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari type, like, design stuff. And then you have Duck with holes in it. It really has been a minute since we saw a holo in this box. The first box I opened, I got 5, and so far we've pulled 3, so I'm hoping, come on, man. I'm hoping we see a little bit something more soon. words. Oh, we got bass player, and there's a little Danny Elfman right there. And then we have Sally's room, where she is kept locked away by her oppressive father. Jack Skellington, we got another upside down. Why are these so, like, mismatched? Ooh, here we go. Hide and seek, that's cute. This is a shot of Mr. Hyde and his little, like, Russian nesting dolls, where they're, like, smaller inside of his hat, but they're still him. I don't know. It's a weird choice. I don't believe that's part of the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde lore. I think they got that wrong. We got Oogie's dice. Organ donor, I still love the name of that card. Deadhead, and ooh, it's Time You Begun, the classic shot of the Halloween door from the very beginning of the film. How many more packs we got here? We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 15. Every single time I do a 36 pack booster box, I am reminded at just how many packs that is. That's a lot of packs. You definitely get your money's worth. But yeah, honestly, I've kind of fallen off the Pokemon thing a little bit. I still like Pokemon. I still like collecting it and opening packs and stuff like that, but really and truly, the Pokemon scene for the last, like, almost 2 years now has just been impossible to keep up with. New sets are being sold out, like, immediately. They're being scalped online for, like, crazy prices. Like, you can't get anything anymore. I think it's getting a little bit better lately. Like, I saw Pokemon cards at my local big box shop, basically for the first time in 2 years, a year and a half, with it not being, like, restock day. Like, it's basically the first time I've seen Pokemon cards in stock there since Surging Sparks came out in, like, late stage 2024. And because of that, it's just like, I don't know, like, making the content stopped being as fun because it's just such a hassle to do anything at this point. Meanwhile, I can make random videos about, like, Edgar and Ellen and Nightmare Before Christmas and Rubik's Cubes, and people like those just as much. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of doing what I want at this point. Anyway, we got the corpse kit. Oh, he does have a name. Are these canon? His name is Ethan? His dad's name is Ned, and his name is Ethan. I don't know if this is canon, because anytime I have ever seen these characters referenced by name in Nightmare Before Christmas media, they're called Corpse Kid or something like that. I don't know if Ethan actually checks out. Here we go. We got the Nutcracker, another behemoth shot. Then we got, another upside down vampire. We got, the clown with the tearaway face. I love that. I think I have a Funko Pop of this guy. I don't really collect Funko Pops unless they're of, like, very niche specific things I'm into. But yeah, he's just another one of those super iconic background characters who has one line in one song where he can take his face off and his voice gets, like, deeper and stuff. He's cool. I like him. We got the graveyard, and the bunny! We got the Easter bunny. Scared Rabbit. This card may be played for a cost of 2 to an opponent's non-starting locale, or for free to one of your locales cannot move. I don't know what any of that means. Completely lost without a rulebook. And when I was looking these up on eBay, I did find another set of collectible Nightmare Before Christmas cards from, these were 2005, I think those were from 2001, and they were not a game. They weren't like cards like this. They were more like the Steven Universe and Adventure Time cards that I've covered on this channel, where it's just like screenshots from the movie and nothing else, but they also come with like little autograph cards or sketch cards or something like that. I was really interested in those, especially considering how old they were, but I didn't end up getting them because they were a little bit more on the pricey side, which kind of makes sense because it is more of a collectible set, whereas this was actually meant to be played. But, you know, if there is interest and people want more Nightmare content from me, I would be happy to kind of hunt one of those down. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Disney hasn't done more with the Nightmare Before Christmas ever since it got like mega popular. Like they've done a few things. There's Nightmare Before Christmas stuff at Disneyland and Disney World now. I have gone on the Nightmare Before Christmas version of the Haunted Mansion. It was amazing. It was like seeing my childhood come alive in front of me. Loved that. And they've been doing like sequel books and stuff like that with the Pumpkin Queen series and all these other like adaptations into like manga and such. But considering where Disney has been lately, I'm surprised there's been no like live action remake or some bullshit like that. Ooh, look, we got Zero, Jack's little ghost dog with the jack-o'-lantern nose, which fun fact, I've had this toy of Zero since I was little, and it sat near a window for years when I was a kid, so it's all yellowed and gross now. And I bought a new Jack Skellington toy that came with a Zero. It's the same damn one. It's the exact same damn toy. It's fascinating that they're still using this. But anyway, what else we got? We got I Am Not the One. Aw, Sally's song. Sally's little sad ballad about not being the one for Jack. She likes Jack. But yeah, as much as I love The Nightmare Before Christmas, as much as it is one of the most important things in my life when it comes to like film and media, I don't really want Disney to do a whole lot more with it. Like, I love books, I love toys, I love merchandise, I love games. I would especially love more games, but I'm also kind of the mind that this movie is more or less perfect as it is. Like, it's flawed, obviously. The story's not amazing from an objective standpoint, but it is kind of exactly what it needs to be, and I don't really know if I would change anything about it, and especially not some bullshit live-action remake. I would hate that, but like, you know, doing a sequel or something now, I just don't. I'd watch it, but I don't think I would like it, and I don't really think it's necessary, especially not now that like half the primary voice acting cast has passed away. Like, Oogie Boogie's voice actor Ken Page died a few years ago. Locke's voice actor Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman, passed away a little while ago, and then just this year, Catherine O'Hara, the voice of Sally and Shock, has passed away. So I don't know, man. I don't think there's really a reason to do anything more with Nightmare Before Christmas in terms of films when most of the iconic cast is not around anymore. Like, you can kind of get away with recasting things like that when it's like spin-off adaptations, like prequels, video games, things like that. And obviously you don't even need voice actors when it comes to books and stuff like that. But I don't know, the idea of any like new Nightmare Before Christmas movie is like intriguing, but only in that like morbid curiosity way to me. Come on, we gotta get another Hollow soon, man. We have been on a dry spell here. Great cards, really fun, like screenshots of the movie, really takes me down memory lane, but like, damn, this box was front-loaded as hell. I mean, if we're only gonna get 2 more Hollows, then we still got a bit of a ways to go. This pack is opening like garbage. Come on. Damn, I ruined that. But let's see. We got the Cyclops. I love that guy. This is one of the things I love about the Nightmare Before Christmas art style, is just how etched everything is. Like, all of these little lines of texture sculpted into the characters and the backgrounds and stuff. It really gives everything the feeling of being like a creepy little pencil sketch, even though it's all sculpted from like clay and silicone and stuff. It's very interesting aesthetically. Then we got, oh, there we go. And ha! Of course it's a duplicate. We got Oogie Boogie, 8-ball. We pulled this one, I should say I pulled this one in my last box. You weren't there. But I asked for a holo, and I got a holo. I'll take that as a win. We got the Big Witch. We got the Vampire. I moved the cards wrong. And we got Town Hall. And ooh, Jewel, Precious Creature. This is the other woman that Finkelstein made when he was frustrated with Sally. He just did that. He made a woman that looks like him and okay, I'm gonna move on. One thing I do really love and would love to be able to actually go see is the Nightmare Before Christmas in Concert series that they've been doing for the last few years. The film's composer and the singing voice of Jack, also the former frontman of one of my favorite bands of all time, Oingo Boingo, Danny Elfman, every year around Halloween at like the Hollywood Bowl or something like that, he'll do the Nightmare Before Christmas live in concert with special guests and all of the classic songs and stuff like that. And again, that's one of those places where, you know, a lot of the old voice actors who made the original film so special would come back and reprise their roles and stuff, and now, you know, they just can't. So I really want to be able to go and see it, not just because I will have been able to see it and it's an important thing to me, but also because, like, I don't know how much more time there is to see something like that before everyone's gone. Time is passing too much. And I just love Danny Elfman. He is a massive inspiration to me in my music stuff. I've made so many songs that are based off of the sound of old Oingo Boingo shit. I love that stuff. Ooh, we haven't seen this guy yet. We got the Hanging Tree. When playing this card, you may discard characters from your hand to reduce the Hanging Tree's cost by 1 each for character discarded. All Alright, so based on my prior experience with this set, which is one singular box, I think we should realistically be able to expect one more holo before the last packs roll in. So hopefully it's not another duplicate, because I would like to see something new. I have seen some people on eBay selling graded cards from this set, which would be interesting to see if I could get some of these graded, what they'd come back as, because, I mean, who does that? That's the thing, as I have kind of been moving on from the Pokemon stuff and focusing more on weird little niche side things like this instead of the big new Pokemon card stuff, I always find it interesting still to see, like, the process of a card being, like, pulled and graded and slabbed up with its final score and things like that. I still find that really interesting, and I love being able to then cultivate, like, a unique collection of oddball cards, like all of my Duel Masters stuff and some of the Steven Universe cards and things like that. I find that, honestly, a lot more interesting than just having Charizards and Charizards and Charizards and Umbreons and stuff like that. Like, obviously, that's not a collection that's going to be worth as much as, like, a high-end Pokemon card collection, but who cares? If the only thing that I care about is that it's cool to me, and stuff like Duel Masters and weird niche Nightmare cards and stuff like that, that's cool to me. Like, Pokemon is cool to me too, Yu-Gi-Oh's cool to me, but, like, a lot of people have that, and a lot of people have collections that you will never be able to top, and trying to is just a practice in going into debt. So, Corpse Mom, her name is Bertha, so the family is Ned, Bertha, and Ethan, apparently. Still don't know how much I buy that, but yeah, like, why have a really expensive collection of stuff that everyone else has when you can have a really unique collection of stuff that only you might have, or the group of people who also have it is much smaller, and therefore, like, you didn't spend as much to get all of it, and it's stuff that no one else around you may have. That's, to me, far more interesting when it comes to collecting. So yeah, I still like Pokemon. I'd still love to, like, hit up some more Pokemon conventions. I've had plans to go to card parties for the last few years, and I've just never been able to make it. So I really hope I can make up for that soon. But when it comes to collecting cards, I am definitely more focused on strange, oddball, niche stuff as opposed to Pokemon right now. That being said, we are on our last pack. We have pulled 4 holos from this box, and we are on the final pack, and if this is seeded out the same as the first box I opened off camera, then there may be a guaranteed holo in this pack. So let's slow roll this a little bit. We got the Mayor, elected official. We got Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King, one of the first shots of Jack in the entire film. We got the accordion player, Jimmy. I still wonder how many of these names are, like, canon, because they're very common, basic names for such strange creatures. We got Shock, Little Hag. Damn, mean. Fire, we got a little military card. Pull Yourself Together with Sally. There we go. We got Scary Bed. So that is, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's another duplicate. We got 3 of the same holos in 2 boxes. Wow. But that is our final holo. Scary Bed. Then we got Town Hall. And then we're ending on Corpse Dad, Night Stalker Vampire Lord, and Say It Twice with both of the witches. Alright. And with that, our Nightmare Before Christmas trading cards booster box is done. And out of this box, we got the Scary Bed holo, the Oogie Boogie 8-ball holo, the Jack Skellington Demon of Light holo, the Sally Skilled Alchemist holo, and the Dr. Finkelstein Brainy Inventor holo. Interesting that out of the 2 boxes of this set that I've opened, I got 3 of the exact same holos twice. And then the 2 holos that were different were the first ones that I pulled in the entire box. That's very interesting. I don't know exactly what the rarity spread of stuff is in this set. I don't know what all holos you can even get, because again, I know next to nothing about this game. I know next to nothing about like the mechanics of it or anything like that. It's not like the box came with any like rules or instructions or like card lists or anything. So I've done very little research into this because I wanted to go in like a little bit fresh, but still, I love having these cool Nightmare Before Christmas cards. I'd love to get some of these graded and see what they come back, and just, again, add some weird, niche, unique stuff to my collection. So yeah, is this it? Leave.